Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of this server. This is a friend server where we kind of play together, build things, and kind of build stupid but fun things, I guess. So for the first episode, I decided to bring you all around and see what we have built so far. Our server is about a month old. We started the server since 1.18 and we have been playing since and been trying to build things here. So like we have some technical stuff. We have been trying to do a little bit of aesthetic stuff as well. So yep. To start off, right here is our spawn area. So you might see all this crying obsidian. Basically what happened here was that we actually played a prank on one of our friends who just recently joined us. So there was an obsidian cage here that trapped in here. So this was what this is. For our world, we actually chose our seed. There's a reason for it because we kind of like to do we like to progress the game in a specific way, and choosing our seed allows us to do that. And the reason for choosing this seed was because there is actually a village right there in this plains area, and the village itself will allow us to do a lot of things. So let's get there. So from our spawn, our central area where we kind of keep everything together is within sight, and this is actually built on top of the village, which no longer exists anymore because we removed everything. So the reason we wanted a village was because we wanted to make use of villager mechanics to progress the game. What we have here, this thing is a villager breeder. This design is by LogicalGeekBoy. You can learn more from his video, but a very quick run through is that essentially the villagers itself will kind of grow the crops and then they will breed, and then the babies will run through and they'll fall through this like water stream and get stuck into the corner here. So yeah, with this villager breeder itself, we actually can do a lot of other things. This villager breeder isn't very aesthetic right now, but we have plans to kind of change it. So we originally had a lot of farms around here, but we have been slowly moving them away. So most of them have went underground. This villager breeder and the villager trading hall that I'll show you later, I think we're gonna move them somewhere up into the sky with our central area. So yeah, and basically with villagers we can do a lot of things. One of the things is an iron farm. So this iron farm design is by Wattles, and I really like the design. It's a very stable iron farm. So how it works is that we have 3 villagers that are scared by a zombie, and they'll spawn the iron golem up here and it falls down. So this allows us to get like unlimited source of iron, and iron in the early game is really important, I think. So let me just do a quick snip. Okay, and so with iron done, we can basically do a lot of other things. For example, we can start a villager trading hall, and my friend is just shooting me right now. Yeah, and so when we kind of have the iron farm and everything, you can start villager trading hall. So in the initial stage of it, we basically traded iron ingots with the villagers for emeralds. And the reason we are doing that is because with all those emeralds, we can actually buy gear from them, including the tools and weapons. So yeah, this actually allows us to like kind of skip through the whole phase of having to get diamonds and then crafting gear. So we have a lot of toolsmith here that allows us to trade all the iron away. We can also have a lot of farmers, which allows us to buy food, and then this will settle our early game progress where we need to like make farms and stuff. So we basically can have unlimited food, unlimited gear, and then the librarian itself will give us the different books. So we have all the important enchantment here. Basically, this allows us to get like the max out, the best gear possible, and we don't really have to like enchant our stuff. We just basically just need to combine them. So yeah, the villagers are really useful in this way, so we can progress through the early game really fast. So yep. Next to kind of show you would be our central area. So our central area used to belong downstairs as well, but we created a floating island and shifted everything up here. So this is a auto-sorted storage system where the top layers are auto-sorted and the bottom layers are not. Mostly because the island itself is actually not too big. We probably have some plans to expand the island and expand the storage system, but for now this will do. We basically have most of our items here, and then the variants at the bottom. The sorting system happens here, where we put the item here, and we can also have a shulker unloader up there that will unload shulkers into the system, and anything that doesn't get sorted actually gets sent to this overflow chest. So the way that this is also split up is that these are our normal storages, and this section actually belongs to things that we are farming. So I mentioned that our farms are mostly underground now, so they actually produce these items and they are right underground. So I'll show you all later, but these are some of the items that we have. They're all funneled through a tube all the way up to the top of the island. Yeah, so how they're funneled is basically we have a fake water stream made out of blue stained glass. So as you can see, some items are actually flowing through. The items will just go up and then they will just move around the whole system until the starting point and just go around it. So yep. Next we have a concrete maker right here. So this concrete maker's design is by ilmango. You can learn a little bit more about design from his video. Essentially makes about 72,000 items, I believe. I mean, 72,000 concrete, I believe. It makes use of like rebinding your keys so that you can place blocks faster. So this is pretty new. And then we have I guess it's a tree collection system there, which basically has water streams running below, so that whenever the leaves and things break, and like you have saplings, they will be automatically collected. So yeah, that's basically all that is in the surface. There's also people houses here, there, and there. So next we can go on to the farms downstairs. So the farms are all here. Okay, so down here we have a bunch of farms here. So this is a pumpkin melon farm, also designed by ilmango. It makes use of this chessboard pattern thing, which optimizes the rate of growing, and everything gets sent through like the copper minecart and sent to the tube that connects to the top. So we also have a slime farm. The slime farm, I believe the design's also by ilmango, but we're not fully following it, I believe. So it just has many layers, and the slime get attracted by the attracted to the iron golems. They jump off and then they die at the bottom. Then the slimes get shot up here and all the way through this funnel system to the same tube. Another thing that we have is a cactus farm here. It's a very simple design, basically forcing the block to break at the second level, and then they just get funneled through the system similarly all the way to the tube. We have a rail duper. I can't exactly remember who built this, but it basically duplicates the rails, whatever kind of rails that you want, and we have a lot of them from here. Then we also have a sugarcane farm here. So this sugarcane farm design, I think, is by impulseSV. It's really tall. We produce way more than we actually use, but we actually compost the additional ones up there in our system, and then we get extra bone meal. We get bone meal from whatever extra we have. Then we have bee farms here. So the bottom part is just a breeding area. This was actually necessary in 1.18 when it just came out, because there was some bug where the bees would just despawn. So this was just basically for us to breed the bees. And then we have a bee farm up here. We have one that is filled with shears, and then 7 other that is filled with glass bottles to get honey blocks and honeycombs. This design is by ilmango as well. Yep, so all the items are actually, you know, they go through the different funnels all the way to this main tube that is connected to that blue stained glass tube that you saw earlier. So that's what the farms here do. Yep, so that's basically most of the farms within our central area. We have some other farms in the overworld, but we access them via the nether portal, which is here. So let's move on to this. So I am bugged. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so for our nether, we didn't really do much, but basically our portal exists somewhere really high. So if you see in the top left corner, you can see that our Y coordinates is at 113. The reason for it is when we build high up in the nether, it's less likely for you to like hit into different cave systems and stuff, which can have mob spawning. So I kind of learned this from wattles, and so our nether portal is high up in the system. And then we also broke the bedrock right here. So the bedrock is broken using the TNT obsidian piston trick thing, where basically you kind of trick the game to think that you can the piston is extended or something at this block, which basically deletes the block of bedrock here. So having broken this, we can build farms here, which we have quite a few. So let's move on to the first farm, which is the witch farm. So the witch farm, we haven't really been using it much anymore. Originally we have been using the witch farm to get some redstone in the early game, because we wanted to build like large farms and stuff, and it was kind of a steady source of redstone. So the design is a LogicalGeekBoy design. Basically we kind of just remove the whole witch hut, build 3 different platforms, and we use like a water pushing system to push the witches down, and they die to entity carrying with the 24 minecarts here. Then there's also a hopper clock system here, basically to control when the water comes out. So yeah, we don't really use this much, but we have a sorter here that basically sorts all the different items that we get from the witch farm. So then let's move on to the next farm. So next farm after the witch farm, basically our new way of getting redstone is the red farm. So our red farm, I believe it's here. So our red farm is actually not functional right now. We're doing some changes to it. So as you can see, that's part of the red farm. So initially when we were working with this, I think 1.18 actually changed certain raid mechanics. So there's something wrong with raid farms right now where they kind of like stop working after a while. So yeah, basically our exit portal brings us to a pillager outpost, where we have like a system which pushes all the pillagers up here, And then when you stand here, you can just kill the villagers directly without having to go downstairs. And once you get a bad omen effect, you can fly over to the red farm, which is right here. This is a design by the Chronos server, I believe. So it makes use of villager stacking. So there's, I think, 4 different villages or something. There's here, and basically it allows us to get a lot of raids like coming, and we can just like keep killing them in this kill chamber. So I recommend looking at that video to kind of find out more, but that's the basics of it. One of the things that we kind of changed was that they actually used portal mechanics initially, and then we changed it to a lava system. This has probably more to do with our server being too weak. So I think our server only has 5 gig of RAM, and whenever the mobs spawn and then they get sent through the portal, so the ravagers get sent through the portal. Whenever they're sent through the portal, it causes some stuttering, and then which basically makes us break the armor stand over here, and then it becomes really dangerous when there's like vexes and stuff flying around. So we kind of went for a lava system, which makes it more stable, but obviously it comes with its own problems that we are facing right now, which is why it's not really functional. We are trying to fix certain things. So yeah, so this is our new source of redstone. So the redstone and stuff are all here, right here. And another thing that we can get from this farm is emeralds. So previously I was mentioning how we were using iron trades early in the game. Now our source of emerald comes from this farm as well, so we don't really need to use iron anymore, and we can use the iron for other stuff like iron blocks and other stuff. So yeah, this is a really good farm for us. And that's all for the red farm. Now move on to the next farm. Alright, so next farm, I guess, is 2 consecutive farm in a row. So first we have a Magma cube farm. We followed the build tutorial by Shulkercraft for this. Basically AFK all the way at the top here, Magma cube spawn, and then they get attracted to the iron golems, and then they die. We got this so that we can get magma cream, which allows us to build magma blocks. And we have a good reason of doing that because we were building a gold farm. So this is a gold farm designed by ilmango. Basically you can stand at the top there. So basically you'll be AFKing right on this spot, and then you shoot one of the piglins. They'll all like swarm towards you and kill themselves, which gives you EXP as well as gives you gold ingots and gold nuggets. So this is our source of EXP and gold right now. This requires a lot of magma blocks, as you can see. So that was what the other farm was for. So we kind of like funnel all the loot down to the bottom here, and then we have like a system which has 2 slime block machine, one that will push first, and then the other one that's delayed by 3 ticks, which allows us to perfectly align the items along these honey blocks, and then all the loot will be here. So yeah, this is basically our gold farm. And the gold that we get from this farm, we obviously have a bartering farm for this. So the bartering farm is over here. So this bartering farm the design is by LogicalGeekBoy. So it makes use of having 24 piglins there. We put the gold here that evenly spreads across 3 different droppers. And then there's a burnout torch that basically pulses 4 times. Oh no, sorry, pulse 8 times, I think. Or something. I can't remember what the exact number is, but basically you pulse it such that these piglins all get 1 gold each, and then the whole system will basically use Slimebox machine to push all the items and loot across this whole blue ice. And then we have all the loots here. So this gives us a lot of things that we want, like string, leather, soul sand, blackstone, basically a lot of things that you can get from this farm. So it's really useful. And then so our stronghold itself doesn't really have much. It's just like a portal thing, but we actually have a second stronghold that we visited. So this is the second stronghold. So we have a second stronghold basically to build a gravity block duper. So this design I think is by Rayworks. So we have a chunk loader here to load the duper here, and then when we turn it on, these items that are placed here will be duplicated, and we have to go to the end to AFK. So the items basically get sent here, and then they will fly across to the 2 sites and get collected by the hoppers, and then our collection system is right here. So this gives us a way to get like sand, concrete powder, which are like basically non-renewable in a sense. So pretty useful. And then our end doesn't really have much right here. We have a wither killing contraption, which is basically what everyone uses, trapping the wither under the bedrock pillar. And then the other part of the end is that we actually have a wither rose farm. So we're trying to make a wither skeleton farm, which requires a lot of wither rose. So this is why we have actually a wither rose farm. And now the wither rose also acts as like a black dye source. So I guess pretty useful in a sense. So the wither rose farm design that we have is also by Rayworks, I think. Get in range. So it's obviously powered by a wither. What we have is a Enderman trap. Basically the Enderman will spawn here and get attracted to the Endermite, jump right down, and then they get killed by this wither. So I think Rayworks design initially only had 1 chicken here, but we had some issues with it where the wither wasn't looking at the chicken. So in the end we added a second chicken, which kind of stabilizes our farm. And so this is basically what we edited, and now we have like all the wither roses and the first here. So this is basically our wither rose farm, and yeah, that's about it. We don't really have anything much else here. And then to exit, we basically just fly across until we reach in End City, and then there's a portal here that we can just go through. So and we can go home. Yep, so basically that's roughly what we have on the server right now. We'll still be building more stuff, so episodes next time probably be about us building different things. Oh, we also have a creeper farm. I forgot about this. This creeper farm design is by Chapman. Kind of edited it a little bit. I think the original design was having this thing on the ground, but we basically put it in the sky instead. Added like a cover around it, and then we let the creeper fall 24 blocks, which is exactly enough for them to die. So yeah, this fuels our gunpowder usage, which is for the rockets and TNT. And yeah, that's basically all that we really have in this server right now. We don't have anything much else, I think. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing what else we built, can look out for more videos.